I just posted something on LinkedIn about the definition of product. I think that's an interesting discussion. I'm a big believer on aligning on the fundamentals. It makes more complex issues easier to deal with. And this topic has come up a lot lately. I'm doing some business in Turkey, which is a developing economy, and you see this shift of project-oriented IT companies moving toward products. So this definition is really important. So I was presenting to some leaders, put some content together around the difference between a product and something that's the result of a project, and discovered in that process that discussing this, explaining this with people who aren't even in that situation helps deepen their understanding of what a product is. So I'm going to share this example and I hope it's helpful. So I use the example of a CRM. Imagine a small company either has to build one or buy one. And you would think the obvious decision is to buy one, but I see people building them themselves all the time. And let's think first about the approach. CRM is CRM. It's going to manage your contacts and the funnel and all these other things. In one case, a customer will go out and find either, if they don't have IT themselves, they will find an IT services provider who will understand their requirements and will implement something. As opposed to, doing business with a software vendor who puts a product out and you either access it via your browser or you install it or whatever. These are two very different models. And probably the first and most profound way that their difference is the audience served. So when I hire an IT consulting company, they have a relationship with a customer. They have to understand that customer's requirements and build what they want. And that can be very difficult. But it's way easier than trying to understand an entire market, all the people who might buy it, and figure out what will they buy first, what's the right price point for all these people. And that's what makes it a product, is that I am trying to serve a market instead of an individual company. Pricing also tends to be very different. When I do project-based work, it tends to be cost plus. I know how much I'm going to have to pay people. I might have some expenses and I mark that up 30%. So that I can safely make 20% margin on the deal. With a product, you need to understand the value that the market gets from it. And how much it costs you to build it is essentially irrelevant. It should define a floor below which you don't go because you would lose money. But beyond that, how much it costs you to develop has nothing to do with how you should price it. You should understand the value in the market. And then a third really relevant way that they're different are the roles involved. In project work, you have a project manager, maybe a solution architect, and on the product side, of course, what our industry has learned is that you need a product manager who understands markets and is balancing what the market wants with what we as a company want, what our definition of success is, and trying to optimize this so that everybody is successful, so that the customers get value that they feel good about, and the organization is recouping the value or making enough money so that they feel like their effort is worthwhile. So, really good example, differentiating a service from a product, food for thought. If you have different thoughts, would love to hear them. Hope this was helpful.